today's show, Masterful27 does his best Alvin impersonation. Koops gets bigged up by a fan. Milo is disappointed by yet another event. And I bring back an old game.
Really?
Welcome back to the Incensed podcast. We're back. It's episode 102. I'm Ian Waterfall, and with me are my ride or dies, Pogo Milo UK, Casual Koops, and Masterful27. Boys, what's up?
Who are we riding? Sorry.
I think yours is a big Australian, isn't it?
Let's not go there.
I was going to say, you two will be riding each other in this bloody Hoenn Tour, wouldn't you? Both of you in that little Airbnb.
Very much a ride or die.
Hey guys, how are you all doing? You doing alright over there? Yeah? Alright, yeah.
I don't have to do a sound effect, thank you.
Alvin, is that you?
Rooted for you, Milo.
Welcome. Special guest.
Oh my god.
And I rate you, Ian, for bringing back an old
Yes.
game 2 weeks in a row just to piss off
Yes,
Koops.
it was time.
How are you, Ian? How's life with you, my friend?
Anyway, moving on. I'm okay, better than last week, but yeah, let's get into the show, shall we? We don't want to hear about me. So, exactly. Without further ado, it's time to...
Pop your incenses, champions. Let's go.
Please let us know on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Campfire, or WhatsApp, or by email at incensepodcast@yahoo.com. Anything you want to shout about using the hashtag Shinies of the Week.
Could you clarify that spelling?
And that hashtag is, of course, SHINIESOFTHEWEEK. Now, with all that said and done, let's get into our first section, which is...
Just tell me about you, mate. Just what's going on?
Now, the game I brought back, Koops, is not the game you was expecting me to bring back. It's not the one from last week, but you never know. That might appear later.
No,
the game I'm bringing back
won't appear later.
is a little
On our
game.
leave.
We might. It's my show.
Okay.
My show.
It's my show, my rules. It's my party, and I'll cry if I want to.
I don't have a sound
No,
effect.
okay,
sorry.
anyway. The game we're bringing back
You need
is
a
a game
walking
that
stick
we've not
sound
played
effect.
for a long time. So, digging into our repartee, our sort of archive of games, we're going to play a little game of Who's Most Likely.
Oh, I like it. I like this one. I like this game.
So, I've got a few of these lined up, and we'll just see. They're actually pretty tame tonight. You know, I've decided not to go too savage with these ones. So,
Ian's been on the internet.
I have actually Googled these, yes, indeed. So, who's most likely to answer a phone call in the middle of the night?
Koops. I have my phone on silent, so you'll never hear it ring. So I'll never get a message or a phone call. And some will argue I'll have it on silent during the week as well. So the chance of me answering a phone call during the day is also lower.
You could go one step further and take the SIM out.
It just turns it off.
I'm tempted. I'm very tempted. The reason I say Koops is he loves a voice message, so he's always actively on the phone. I reckon at night he'll have a moment of inspiration. So he might wake up at 3 a.m. and go, message to myself. Right, I've got a great idea. And then he might actually...
Yeah.
And also, Dax lives 6 hours on the other side of the world, so his boyfriend will ring him up at night, won't he?
He's going to have to.
I see what you did there, Marky. Do you know what's funny? That when I send Ian a voice note like past 10 o'clock, he's got his do not disturb notification on, so I know it's not Ian. Milo will be asleep by midnight because he needs to wake up for the raids that are being sent in Kiribati in Australia and New Zealand. so he definitely won't be waking up. Marky, yeah, I've got like you said, your phone's on do not disturb, but I'm a deep sleeper, so I think if I was going to say any of us, I would have to say myself or Milo, but I don't think it is me though. Like when I'm asleep, I am KO.
I thought Milo straight away because Milo is kind of a night owl and he'll sleep until lunchtime. So if you phoned him at 3 a.m, he's probably still awake, like drinking or something. So I would go Milo.
I liked Mark's theory, and I think I'll back that up. I will go with Koops just because he might set himself a voice note and forget about it, and then get a ping and wake up.
This is with the voice notes. Leave
Because
me
I can
alone.
tell you flat out, actually, Koops knows, I hate answering the phone. If someone phones me, I hate answering the phone. For flat
Depends who's
out.
calling you though, doesn't it, Milo?
No, I hate answering, like flat out. I don't care who you are, I will not answer the phone. A voice message I can handle, because I can listen to that any time.
Talking about voice notes, Milo, do you want to tell the listeners that I sent you a voice note, and it took you about 9 months to listen to it? Do you remember?
I still haven't opened it.
Have you still not? Let me check. Oh yeah, you haven't read it, and I sent it in September last year.
Milo.
And I'm like Ian as well. I do the don't disturb thing as well. So I'm going to pick Koops just because he's the most likely to out of a very bad batch, as it were.
Yeah. Anyway, Coops, I'll save you from that one, and we'll go to the next question.
Oh my god, bro! No, this is the 8th of May, 2022, and you opened it in September.
If that doesn't rule me out of the runnings, I don't know what does.
Hello, my boy. It feels so weird, mate, coming on and seeing how long I've not privately messaged you on WhatsApp because you've got the group chat now. Mate, I just wanted to send you a message to basically say I've just literally caught up with today's episode, and like I said, as I said the other day, I've caught up with all of the episodes of the podcast now. Just wanted to say thank you, Milo, because the quality, especially on this one that you did, is just... like, not to be a cringe bro, but it's actually phenomenal, mate. Like, it's actually amazing. So I know you don't like voice notes, but I just wanted to say
He even says it.
I look forward to the vlogs, and once again, thank you, mate. Like, the quality of the podcast is honestly, it's insane.
We're sure that was
Well,
May.
bro, do you not feel bad?
It's
That
timeless.
I sent that in. It's only been a year, and I was saying how good the edits are, and you've literally ignored me. That's mad.
I don't feel any remorse whatsoever.
Okay, fine.
Milo's like, I do not feel any emotion.
Zero emotion.
Moving on. Is Milo a typically bad human being? We'll find out. Who is the most likely to back you up in an argument, even if you're wrong?
That's a really good one.
I actually would go Coops. I think Coops has got everybody's back.
I think Coops could blag
Ian,
anything, actually.
Well, it ain't Milo, is it? He just ignores you. Clearly, it's not Milo, is
It is
it?
a voice note, definitely.
You'd be like, back me up, man. He'd be like, not listen to that message.
Not now.
I would never speak for Ian, but me and Ian are a little bit more old school. And like, I think in our day-to-day things, if someone's wrong, we'll call them out on it, won't we, mate? We're not going to like back them up. Because the likelihood is we probably don't like the person who's probably said that anyway. So we can't know.
I was thinking you were thinking more like friends or family, like people close to you. If they were wrong,
Yeah, I think
would you still have their back?
I think that's what the question's aimed at.
Yeah.
Really.
Me, 100% me.
I think so as well.
Yeah, Milo wouldn't know what he's trying to back you up for, would he? Because it would be out of date
wouldn't
by
answer
then,
the
wouldn't it,
phone.
by the time he's...
He might not be sober enough to know what he needs to back you up for.
Where's this coming from? Painting me as a raving alcoholic. I don't answer the phone, that's one thing.
It's all right.
One phone
That
call.
was a segue into the next question. Who's the most likely to eat pizza for breakfast?
Ooh.
Ian.
Not based on the experience I've had with Ian.
Okay.
There was pizza there for breakfast. It just was...
No, Ian, that's not
Oh.
good.
Coops knows what he ate instead. Coops is
No,
going, yeah,
no.
we know what you...
He had a hot dog, not a pizza.
I'm going to save this conversation and go, I'll be the most likely to because of late night editing and stuff and possibly 24-hour grind, and I don't care. Cold pizza for breakfast actually works real nice.
Yeah, I'd eat pizza
think.
for breakfast, but more likely, I think Milo. I would eat it, but I tend to eat it all when it's there hot. So I'm greedy.
Such a good point, actually.
And I think I'm going to go for me because I have been known to save a couple of slices at night just to have the next morning.
That's why I said you
Stash
originally,
'em.
though, because I think it is you, E. I think you take the
Yeah,
dub
I
on
do.
that, honestly.
Okay, so a little bit more lighthearted. Who's the most likely to go to Disneyland for vacation?
Marky.
No,
Marky.
not a cat and owl's chance. I couldn't think of anything worse. I am the guy who likes to travel in a car, go around Europe in a tent, can't be remote and all that. Being in Disney
It's like the absolute
sounds like
opposite.
absolute torture. I think someone who's probably good with, and I'll word this very carefully, very good with kids, because I can imagine there's a lot of kids around there. So I think Coops with his family and he's like his 1-year-old birthday parties he's been to recently and all that.
Yes,
I think it Coops with his Mickey ears on with Mystic 7.
Yeah,
You can imagine that, couldn't you?
I can, because that's kind of what he looked like in the Liverpool Safari Zone, isn't it? With the EV ears.
Find me then, me.
Do you guys get a buzz from Disney? I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm comparing myself to the...
There's a long list of things I'd rather do than go to Disney,
Yeah.
including running myself over with my car, to be honest. It's like my idea of hell. I don't like theme parks and I don't like that sort of
All right,
thing.
Brian Harvey over there.
I'm firmly with you at the bottom of the list there, Mark.
And I have been to Disney quite a bit, Orlando and Anaheim, but I think I'd go Coops now. I think Coops definitely.
You've
I
been
can
there,
definitely
done
see him
that.
getting into the spirit, getting on It's a Small World and singing along.
We need your chipmunk voice for that, mate.
It's just like the award ceremony. We're just picking Coops over
It's
and
like
over
Coops
again.
us for
goodness
everything.
sake.
Yeah. Who's most likely to cheat at a board game?
Me.
Why?
I think Coops wouldn't like losing, so I could see Coops like with Monopoly, like just having a little bit, like just siphoning a little bit of money out of.
Yeah.
Coops wants to be the banker, and he wants to take
Before
a little
the
bit of money
bank
to one
robbery.
side.
Yeah, you can imagine that, can't you? Yeah. Why is that tray of money by you, Coops, and not in the bank? Why has the bank got less than you have?
Is that real life or in the game?
No, not real life.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I sometimes feel like some sections are just aimed at me, but I will take the L and be like, yeah, can't lie, I've definitely cheated a few times in a few board games in my life, 100%.
Milo, I think I want to get you involved in this. I think you're quite sophisticated with your like gin evenings and the people you've got around you. I reckon you play the games that you can't cheat. I think they're mind games, which need a level of intelligence to do that.
You're taking me out of the running.
Ignoring everyone's messages.
Yeah. Milo plays backgammon.
Do that instead of going to Disney World, that's for damn sure.
I promise all of these questions are not aimed at Coops, but the next one is, who's most likely to be arrested for being drunk and disorderly?
Oh, really? I'm gonna say Milo. They knock on his door saying you've had noise complaints because you're really enjoying backgammon too much.
A rowdy game of backgammon.
You can imagine, can't you, where Milo lives, like the police officer's patrolling the beat, and next he gets hit by a backgammon board.
Sue in the chat's just said in Vegas. Yeah, it's definitely going to be you two. I'm going to say you two in Vegas.
I've done my hangover scenes in Vegas. I'm going to be on best behaviour this year.
I can't promise anything. Keep you out of trouble.
You've got his best behaviour in Vegas.
Somehow I'll take the L on that one, even though it makes no sense.
So I think, Milo, if you nominated anybody
I'm
yet?
going to go Coops just because. Even though I know at the current time it makes literally no sense.
Yeah.
But I don't really think... I can't vote for Mark and Ian because they're old, and I know myself. So
Right, Jesus
No, I'll take that
Christ, at least
because I'm
we
the
don't-
youngest out of the three. No, I'll take that.
out of the three of you.
Okay, so we've got who's most likely to lose their phone on a night out?
Whoever's drunk and disorderly, probably.
I'm going to nominate myself because I can imagine you three playing Pokemon GO when you're out, but I'm the only one that doesn't. So
It depends
No,
what
but you'll
sort
be
of
doing
night out it
video
is.
messages. You'll be doing video messages all the time, won't it?
He'll be doing
Imagine,
video
can't
messages
you? We're
and
like
drop
doing
the
that. He's
phone
going,
at some
hello,
point.
hello.
Or there'll just be a voice note on the floor, just recording constantly.
yeah.
He's lost his phone, just there.
I think I'd
ambient
go for
background.
Mark, because Milo, you've always got your phone in your hand. Mark's is probably in his pocket or something, could quite easily fall out. And I get the impression Coop's on his phone a lot because his girlfriend's like messaging him, make sure he's not too drunk. So
I will take that one, but as someone who vlogs on his phone, has never chipped the screen, let alone lost it.
This is what I wanted to ask. Have any of us actually lost our phone before?
I've never lost
Never.
a phone.
I've never lost a device.
Never.
Coops has been quite quiet.
No.
Coops has been very quiet.
Shook his head in a minimal manner.
No. I've been at a wedding and I was obviously quite intoxicated. Got an Uber home. I woke up I just sort of rolled out the car, rolled into bed, and in the morning I woke up and I didn't have my phone on me, so I went on to find my iPhone and I'd obviously left it in the back of the Uber and it was in Watford, so my brother had to take me all the way to Watford and we had to like bang on all like the roads to find out who like the Uber driver where he lived. Yeah. And it was in the dashboard, so he'd obviously picked it up and like put it in there like waiting for the battery to how
Sensible
bad's that?
driver. Well then, Coops, because he has.
Yeah.
What do you mean sensible driver? I think he was trying to nick my phone, but fine.
He's oh damn, he's found me.
Ian, did you like that? Me and you were probably going, God, getting in an Uber after a wedding, getting intoxicated. That's so London, didn't we, Ian? That was like, so London, isn't it?
It kind of is.
I have to pick up on Sue in the chat saying Marlon will be raiding, so his phone would never leave his hand. And I can confirm I have actually raided. I can't remember when it was. It was last year. I was doing Entei raids at a Wilkinson gig. This is like drum and bass.
Of course you were.
Okay, so who's most likely to use misplaced emojis?
What's an emoji? I'm joking.
I was going to say Ian doesn't use any, so
I use emojis, but like when I send them to people like family members, I find that ones I do on my social media, I replicate, and some of my family members go to me, "Why the hell are you sending me a thumbs up emoji? Why are you doing that? What the hell are you
I
on?"
think I'd nominate myself probably, just because I've got really pissed off with my phone doing it auto predicts the sentence and it's always wrong. So I've turned off all of that. And
Oh.
you know I'm dyslexic. I type too fast for my brain to even comprehend. So thankfully I check everything a couple of times. Thank God.
Mostly.
Twitter verified. I can edit.
Only for 30 minutes.
Exactly. Actually, going back through and reading it as a dyslexic still doesn't help. But probably myself put the wrong emoji because I pressed the wrong one by like a millimetre.
But you'll correct it though, won't you, Milo?
Hopefully. Now, if anybody sees an incorrect emoji in any tweet, they know it's me.
I'm sticking with the M. I'm going Marky and Milo.
No, I don't use them, and Coops does use them. They always seem to be in the right place, and
I
they
just use the
emphasise what he's saying.
laughing emoji.
Yeah.
That's all I use.
You haven't sent the dead one at a funeral, have you, Coops, before? Like a misplaced one?
It's the laughing emoji and the skull and crossbones one.
Yeah.
It's definitely between Mark and Milo, but I genuinely don't know.
100% it is.
Oscar, I'm going to say Mark. Mark uses them more than Milo does.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, and our last who's most likely. Who's most likely to sleep naked?
Coops. Oh, no. Coops likes a dressing gown. His little face. His little face.
Hands up who sleeps with nothing on.
What do we do now?
It's not Mark then.
I live out in the sticks. I don't have that suburban heat coming in through the walls.
I'm just going to... Ian, you're going to get the dub on this one. I'm giving this to you.
See, I find that online and I thought, well, doesn't everyone sleep naked? But obviously some people
if
don't.
you
Some
do,
people
then
do,
it's weird that people don't.
Yeah.
Guys, we can take a 3-way win.
Yeah, let's go all. Yeah, I vote for all three of us.
Well done, Ian. I think that's about 40 minutes of content.
Yeah, hopefully that's padded the show enough.
Nice
So,
work.
Result, Ian.
So let's get into the show and let's have a quick talk about an event that started today. Let's be honest, bit dead. The Lunar New Year event. What do we think?
All right. And the next section.
All I'm going to say is one sentence, Ian. If you're lucky, you will get a shiny Darumaka because it's an increased shiny rate, but they haven't actually put the spawns of it out. So it's all right boosting the shiny rate for Pokemon, but I haven't seen one today when I've played it.
I've seen a few, but not many.
I'm going to have to say I love the fact that it's only 4 days because it's
Yes.
terrible.
Yeah, I mean, after such a great start to the year, this is just like straight down the toilet.
I'm hoping this is like mid-January kind of lull, lackluster time. I know we've got Larvitar Comedy Classic this weekend as well, which should be a little bit spicy, but it is very much a dead event. It's exactly... I remember Coops talking about it over a year ago when Gibble was advertised as the 2020 Go Fest poster, and it was on there. This event had Darumaka as the lead image, and I can count on one hand how many I've seen in the wild today while grinding the event for 6 hours.
I was going to say, I've seen more Darumaka on the loading screen to Pokemon Go than I've actually seen. than I've actually seen in Pokemon Go. But genuinely, I think I said when we read the announcement last week, I think my actual words were horrific, and I stand by that exact word. Now I've played.
Worse now
I don't
we're in
think
it.
any of us were expecting a lot from this. I genuinely don't.
I'm still trying to understand the correlation with Regice being a raid boss, and I really don't think I'm ever going to work that out. I'm still...
There isn't.
There
No.
isn't at all, is there? There's not even,
No, there's not even
like
a rabbit frozen in the middle of it.
I
I guess it starts with an R, and rabbit does as well.
That's tenuous.
Genuinely sorry to mug that off, Ian, but it's
No,
genuinely
it's a fair
horrific.
question. And the reason I ask is we reached out to our listener base today and asked for their input. Let's have a look what people said.
I think I've got one that we can all agree with, which is Jasmine just said, "Why is there no Darumaka spawns?" Very poignant, fully agree with you. Even the Catch 25 research task gives you the Darumaka either or form. It's like 50-50 chance or so. They're a rare task. You're more than likely going to find the open 3 gifts, which gives you one of the 7 fire starters.
Yeah, it is pretty bad. And this it's echoed with a comment from Mr. Anderson 7777. Pretty boring so far. Doesn't feel like there's actually anything going on in the game. I think they need to change up the map a bit for events now. Some fireworks or something. I suppose I'll give it a little bit more excitement.
I like the firework idea.
brilliant.
Yeah. We not have like the Chinese lanterns floating around on the map.
Yeah.
That'd have been fun.
We should create the game, shouldn't we? We should say to them, right, guys, we've got the teams in place. Guys, lanterns in the air. Do it.
We pitched Pidgey Community Day last week.
I pitched a bug event ages ago that they actually did.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got one from Zach. Is it Heber? They say, I would like the flex on everyone in the replies here. I found a Darumaka and a shiny Magmar 10 minutes into the event. GG's.
I love the A
GG's, man.
Darumaka.
Yeah.
It's still one.
Do you know what I love? And then from that positivity, I've got Magpie Malcolm. Boring event, boring tasks, boring spawns.
I love that. I love that. It's so good.
And I like what TJ Hollis has said. I really like the boosted shiny rate for a featured Pokemon feature. Just wish Darumaka was a little bit more common so I could take better advantage of it.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I think the boosted lucky trade thing is actually like a really good thing. But again, like, if you don't see them for 4 months, you've got to wait 4 months to do the trade.
That's the problem. It's actually so many people don't have someone who they can trade with regularly.
Yeah.
I guess it works for Larvitar Conde, though. It does spool over into that, though, which is something. Comment from Edgar in the chat, one of our patrons, said, it may be a trash event, but I think I needed it. Break after the last event. And I kind of see where he's coming from. The last event was absolute fire. It's a chance to restock your Ultra Balls.
And like we've said in the past, you kind of need a bit of a dead event after a breakout amazing event, because not every event is going to be that 5-star event. It's impossible to maintain that.
They've gone the full hog with this and put Regice in raids just to really make it bad.
On a fire event.
So we're going to go now from what is probably the worst event so far this year to what is probably going to be...
There's only been 2 events, Ian.
That's why I said so far. That's why I said so far. But we're going to go to something that is actually going to be a bloody good event. And we're going to talk about what is going to be happening in the Hoenn Tour Global in the news.
It's the news.
We talked about Hoenn Tour weeks ago, and they've actually put a few more details out referring to the global version of it. Saturday and Sunday, it'll be February the 25th and 26th. And again, guys, we're probably going to have to pad this out because in terms of new info, it's pretty minimal. All that they've added,
just a little bit.
There's at least 4 lines that they've added, so it is actual good information. So the Masterwork Research Wish Granted, which will lead you to Shiny Jirachi. The paragraph that they've actually added is tickets will be available to purchase in the in-game shop for $4.99 or equivalent pricing in your local currency, plus any applicable taxes and fees from Monday, February the 20th at 10 a.m. PST. Great, PST, smashing. Oh my goodness. Until March the 20th. So you could buy this ticket for a full month even after the event to get access to this line of research, which is quite interesting.
I'll get Shiny Jirachi then. That's a result, isn't it? I'll get Shiny Jirachi.
You're not going to miss out. If you can't play the actual Hoenn Tour, you can still buy the ticket to get the event research, the Masterwork Research. The tickets can't be purchased with Pokecoins as usual. And as if I actually need to say this, but the other parts, the little flick over from Jirachi is Kecleon, smiling very happily. Kecleon heads to Pokemon GO Tour Hoenn Global, as if we didn't suspect that after having chatted about Kecleon and all its release, etc. After its initial appearance in Las Vegas, we've learned that lucky trainers may encounter shiny Kecleon during the wild at Pokemon Tour Hoenn Global. It's safe to say, I would assume, that the shiny rate probably won't be as good, or the spawn rate won't be as good for the global one. Probably it's the Vegas one. We don't know.
I think that's fair to say, though, isn't it?
I would assume so. As we said before, they couldn't really do Hoenn Tour without Kecleon. And genuinely, that's it. There's still more details that need to be released, but that's honestly about it in terms of the additions to the article.
Well, boys, it's about time we have some good news.
What? Oh, it's bad news, actually, isn't it?
Well, technically, just let's be positive, right? Because if we've been a bit negative.
It's good in a way.
No, jokes aside, this is actually, I think it's good news, but yeah, it is bad news at the same time because obviously we're kind of like advertising this, kind of selling it. But boys, Las Vegas is Hoenn Tour, yeah, yeah.
Hoenn in Vegas, yeah.
Las Vegas Hoenn Tour has officially sold out on the Saturday and on the Sunday.
Both days
sold out. SOLD.
Jeez. I don't remember you two. Wait, hang on.
Could you clarify that spelling?
SOLD.
Right.
Yeah, let's tag team it.
Let's tag team it.
Sold out totally.
Both days. To be honest, Saturday was sold out first, but yeah, they're both... No, was it Sunday sold out first?
I think
Saturday
sold out first. That sold out last weekend.
Yeah.
Literally just before we started recording. Then the Sunday was sold out today.
I mean, you guys that are going, and to people on the live stream right now, like, you're going to have an amazing time. It's literally sold out. Like, max capacity. There'll be loads of people there. All the tickets finished, gone.
That's the thing. Is there's lots of people who will be doing 2 days. Like Ian and I will be playing both days. I'm sure lots of people are doing the same.
Especially when you travel that far as well, right?
Yes.
It's just the same people then for 2 days. Then. So it's just like
most people have bought 2-day ticket.
I would have said that a lot of people have only bought one day for the fact that there's been 5 days in between the Saturday and the Sunday selling out.
There will be a lot of people sat Sunday, yes, exactly.
Do you know what it will be as well? It will be when they announce, the Saturday's sold out. If people were thinking about doing it, they're like, oh my God, right.
It's that FOMO, isn't it? I've got to buy a ticket now.
It's hence why it's, happened quite quickly. But I feel very content with not going. But I am obviously naturally would love to be there because it's going to be. And come on, Las Vegas, it's going to be epic. It's going to be epic.
If I was going to Vegas, Pokemon Go would obviously be a part of it. But I've never been to Vegas, so it'd be all the other stuff that went with it. I'd be more excited for. Naturally, people going to Vegas should get the best experience. I'd like to think that people at Vegas will get a better chance of hatching maybe and getting the 10k eggs and that. I think that'd be really cool if you were out there playing it, like the Shiny Relicanth.
That was a purchasable add-on. That's the thing. It's
the egg hatcher, yeah.
That's the egg hatcher bonus or add-on that you could buy for the ticket meant you would have a higher chance of picking up 10km eggs, which I think is a decent bonus. Yeah,
that'd be nice in a way.
They're not giving you unlimited incubators. You're still going to have to buy incubators.
Yes, this is true. Expenditure on top of expenditure.
Yes,
in terms of that. But actually, thinking about it, I don't remember the last time an IRL event sold out. I don't think the events in 2022 sold out.
No,
at all.
No, I don't know.
And I don't even think scrolling back to before the pandemic when they were talking about Liverpool, Philadelphia and St. Louis, I don't think they sold out. I genuinely think, if ever, would have to scroll back to like 2018 time when they sold out tickets entirely.
Yeah, but you've got to remember two things. One, I think the location is miles above any location.
Yeah, true.
I mean, Liverpool or Las Vegas.
Yes, you can't really compare the two.
You can't, in my opinion. Liverpool was amazing and we all had a great time, but you cannot compare Liverpool to Las Vegas. And secondly, if I'm correct, it's only a 2-day event.
It is only a 2-day event.
And from what I remember, normally some of them have been Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, you're right. 3-4 days.
Yeah, so you've also got that aspect as well. And, like I said, New Year. And listen, the game's they've done a great job for sort of, the last few weeks. Everybody's just like, let's crack on. But yeah.
The actual event itself will be incredibly similar. And there are still more details yet to come for the global tour. We still don't know what's coming off Incensed. There's still a lot missing. So that will be released in drips and drabs, which is probably the right way to do it to keep the hype going because we are still over a month away from it.
We're still 4 weeks away from Vegas, 5 weeks to the global.
They're doing it the right way anyway. They could replicate it, not saying they will, worldwide, and it means nothing. Because everyone's paid their money, done Vegas. It doesn't affect them in any way by just giving everyone the experience. I wouldn't be surprised if you can buy the egg thing, playing it locally, so they can make more money out of it again a third time around.
Possible it might happen for the global, you don't know, do you? Yeah.
Indeed. There isn't any word of add-ons to tickets or anything. The only ticket part that they've listed is the Masterwork Research, which will get you to Shiny Jirachi. Might be a free event, but if you want to get the research to get Shiny Jirachi. So it's kind of like a paywall for a Shiny Mythical in a way.
But something else that's coming as part of the Hoenn Tour is Primal Reversion. And
Reversal?
The Primals are coming. We know that the Primals are going to be coming. We know that the Primals are coming. The Primal Kyogre, Primal Groudon.
Yes.
But Primal Reversion is coming into the game, and it looks very similar to a Mega Evolving sort of mechanic. You can earn Primal Energy by defeating Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon in a raid battle or by completing specific research tasks. After undergoing Primal Reversion, Primal Kyogre and Groudon will stay in their primal form for 8 hours, after which they will revert back to their standard form.
The same. It's literally the
same. More times it is, because the more times that you primally revert, the less primal energy it will take to be used. So it is literally the exact same mechanic.
However, because it's Primal Reversion and not Mega Evolving, we've got to make that absolutely clear. When Primal Kyogre is in your party, I assume in a raid battle, water, electric, and bug type attacks.
In your kitchen, having a beer at a house party.
Yes. Game of backgammon.
Yes.
When Primal Kyogre is a part of your raid party or backgammon party, water, electric, and bug type attacks will benefit from an attack boost. So it boosts 3 typings, which actually correspond to the weather boost, which kind of works because obviously Kyogre water type and they're the weather trio. Another bonus, when Primal Kyogre is your buddy, catching water, electric, and bug type Pokemon will grant you additional XP and candy. So Weedle lovers, you'll be loving that.
Oh, it's just
fire, grass, and ground types. So basically Sunny boost, get the attack bonus in raids when Primal Groudon is involved, and you're getting the candy and XP bonuses when Primal Groudon is your buddy. It is Mega Evolving, just with different words That's basically what it is.
Not mega evolving, it's mega devolving.
Reverting, yes. The more times that they revert to their primal forms, these bonuses will improve, which is great.
But that's not all, because you know how we all love a Pokédex?
Oh, God.
There's going to be a new Pokédex category.
What for 2 Pokemon?
These primals.
It's literally 2 Pokemon. Because there are no other Pokemon that primal evolve. Primal revert, whatever it's called.
Listen, okay, so first of all, I want to touch on the bonuses, and I apologise. If there's any new players, I apologise. I don't want to sound arrogant.
You're not after Weedle XL?
No, no, it's normal candy.
Of course
It didn't say XL. Did it say XL?
No.
No, that's my point. Like, when are they going to realise we don't want candy? No one needs Growlithe candy. No one needs Weedle candy. No one needs, what was it? Water type.
Surskit.
Yeah, no one needs Surskit. Like, when are they going to realise we need X? Like, it's one that's been playing this game. It's
the
painful.
Spot Hour bonus. They always say, like, there's double catch candy.
I
All
know,
of us will go,
but
where's the double XL? Or, like, the double transfer XL or something? Because, seriously.
That annoys me enough. It's like, no one needs... I've literally got, like, thousands and thousands of candy for every... I don't need that. I need the XL candy.
It's my game. It's my game.
Everyone was waiting these primals for so long, and I get it. The system for the Megas already there. Okay,
Mr. Lover movesets, Mr. Sneak It In, because they are actually going to get their exclusive moves at long last. Kyogre will get Origin Pulse, which is going to be 130 power in both trainer battles and the gyms and raid system. And Groudon will get Precipice Blade, 130 power in both trainer battles and the raids and gym system.
These primals weren't going to come with their exclusive moves. That would be silly, because obviously, like, when Mega Rayquaza comes, what's its special move? I can't remember.
Is it Dragon Ascent or something like that?
Look, I get it. The system's there. Why not use it? It's easier. I get it, but it's just, again, a bit like catching Kecleon. It's a bit like, oh, okay, I've Mega evolved.
The thing is that we can't really shake our finger at Niantic, because this has been in since Gen 3 games of old, and they chose to make it a different name, even though the system is pretty much exactly the same. It's just a slightly different version of it. Rayquaza doesn't primal revert, it mega evolves, and maybe because we're sort of fresh, as it were, coming to the Pokemon franchise, we don't see why it makes sense, but people with old school,
it's the thing with the main series,
know.
they kind of use the same mechanics through a lot of the games, but just changing them ever so slightly. So it's a similar mechanic from a main series game, really, isn't it?
Fair enough, but like I said, just to finish off, because I don't want to moan, because this is genuinely hype. Like genuinely, I've got 3 Hundo Groudons and a Hundo Kyogre, so I can't wait to do best.
It's my game. No. It's my
That was
game.
just
Flexing tonight, isn't he? Yeah.
Just something a little bit different. It would have been really nice to see the creativity, be able to just like change this up a little bit. I know they've changed the actual Mega Evolve background. I think
There's a new animation.
It has like a little gem crystal
Yeah.
that goes around or something. But primal shinies, they go black. They're good shinies.
I like Mega Pokemon now. I'm not going to slag them off. I actually like
I
them.
want to ask the Mega Connoisseur, does he approve of the primal reversion?
When I saw it, it felt like it was copy-paste. That's fine. Now, if they put Rayquaza in there with it, I would have probably got very excited about it. Because let's face it, Rayquaza just rocks.
That will come as a Mega at some point, yeah.
Oh, of course it will, Ian. You're absolutely right. And it'll have a ticketed element to it, and it'll cost $9.99. And it'll be, and you need twice as much to evolve it.
Actually, that's a good point, because did you see the announcement that they made about Mega Salamence? That they changed it from 200 Mega Energy to 300?
Ask the intern.
I can't wait for Mewtwo to be like, if you just now deposit your life savings to unlock this research for Mega Mewtwo Y. Yeah.
The thing is, though, when I saw the support account tweet that out about Mega Salamence, it's like basically just saying, guys, quickly before the event ends, quickly evolve your Mega
Evolve
Salamence.
now, because we're going to put the price up.
And it's only for the first evolve. That's the thing, is they're just increasing it by 100 Mega Energy for the first time. That's it. Afterwards, you get into the usual system, so it's not really that bad of a thing. It just makes you think, why bother? Why bother changing
you've dropped,
it?
Yeah,
There's no need.
You've dropped you've made a mistake. Just leave it.
But I like it. Hell yeah, it's a great mechanic. I think they look awesome, don't they? In the news article, they show you some of them going through that transformation and that. You look at them, they're sick, aren't they? Looking forward to those remote raids. Looking forward to those being pinged around, and
we'll be sending
looking
them.
forward to having that mechanic in it.
And I love the fact they put Primal Groudon into the game before Mega Camerupt.
It's looking pretty positive for the primals.
Nice.
Is that Shiny Tapu Koko trying to edge its way into the episode?
I think it's trying to force its way in.
Yes, it feels like I'm being hit with a cattle prod. Anyway, the Crackling Voltage event has just been announced, which is awesome. We know it brings Shiny Tapu Koko, but the details, it's going to run from Friday, January the 27th. God damn it, that's my podcast edit day.
So next Friday it starts.
Yeah, podcast edit day. Come on, let me off the stick. Niantic. But it's 10 a.m. local time until February the 5th. So this runs into next month at 11:59 p.m. local time on that Sunday. But Waterfall, should we tag team the encounters?
Yes, wild encounters for this event are Ekans,
Magnemite,
Grimer,
Electrike,
Blitzel,
Ferroseed,
and the new shiny Koops, which is
Helicopter.
Such a good shiny as well.
It is, that's an amazing shiny.
And just to round out, the ones that you won't be clicking on at all, still can't be shiny, are Stunky and Grubbin.
But some trainers might encounter the following: Beldum.
And as Koops would say,
yeah, can you say it, Koops?
I don't think so.
No, okay. But we're going to give Masterful 27 the week off on this one. We're going to look at the raid game, and the raid game really isn't all that good, to be fair. 1-star raids, you can expect a Alolan Grimer, Shinx, which has had a community day, Bronzor, which is a boosted shiny in the wild anyway, so I'm not sure why you'd raid that one. Clink, and of course, Koops.
Helicopter.
The only thing that's worth raiding.
Potentially worth raiding.
Well, actually, no, I'm not going to say that.
The 3-star raids, and these are fairly dead also. Galarian, Weezing, and Marwile, which could be shiny, but Jolteon and Venomoth, which
if your non-shiny raid bosses really
Yes.
tickle your fancy.
You really need that Venomoth.
This is where it's going to get a bit more interesting. We know Shiny Tapu Koko, brand new shiny to Pokemon Go, will be in raids. And it gets a bit complicated here because the event overlaps into February, which cycles in another raid boss. So Tapu Koko will be in the raids from Wednesday, the 25th of January at 10 a.m. local time until February the 1st. So that's only a week, 10 a.m. local time on the 1st. And then it's going to switch over to PvPer's Wet Dream. Get your jaw off the floor.
Get that tissue out.
Registeel is coming back, which makes sense with, as we discussed, Hoenn Tour coming up. We've already had Regice blighting the raids, so Registeel is going to be in the raids from the 1st of February at 10 a.m. local time until the next Wednesday, February the 8th at 10 a.m. local time. And it will also know Zap Cannon, which is
PvP move, I believe.
Gave it a nuke move. Lovely stuff.
But have you noticed, Whitfield, that they seem to be alternating the Reggies every other week? So we're probably going to get something else for the first full week of Feb, and then Reggie Rock might actually lead into Hoenn Tour.
Unfortunately, yes. All I can hope is that Tapu Bundelenga will be after Registeel, but jumping into the Mega Raids, so Mega Gengar is going to coincide with Shiny Tapu Koko from the 1st to the 8th of February. This isn't the third take of me doing this because for some reason they've listed Mega Gengar first and then Mega Aerodactyl next, but they've put them the wrong way round on the dates and times. So, first on the article, but not first in IRL time, just to really confuse you, Mega Gengar will be in raids from the 1st to the 8th of February, 10 a.m, switch over, so that will be alongside Registeel. It's not even alphabetical either.
It's not, it makes no sense.
Mega Aerodactyl goes first, like it should go first. Why have they done them this way around? It's really confusing.
They're trying to confuse us. That's what they're doing. They're trying to confuse us.
Mega Aerodactyl will be alongside Shiny Tapu Koko, which is really cool. So 25th of January till the 1st of February, 10 a.m. at local time switchover. So it looks very much like everyone's going to be just raiding Shiny Tapu Koko, I think, to be honest.
I think they'll be raiding it to get the shiny. I can't see people going half this once they've got their shiny. So if you want the shiny, go hard early.
Yes. And it is only a week. That's the other thing with these. A week long to go hardcore for it.
Yeah, absolutely. But moving into the egg game, and this really doesn't get any better, unfortunately.
No.
Eggs. If you are daft enough to hatch 7k eggs during this event, you will be able to hatch a Alolan Sandshrew,
Skarmory,
Blitzel,
non-shiny, somehow Unnovan Stunfisk.
Shiny Galarian Stunfisk.
Shiny Koops.
Helicopter.
And Dedenne. Dedenne. One thing to say about these 7km eggs is A point on the article, and B, a warning from history. Helipotile hatched in these eggs will have a greater chance of being a shiny Pokemon than Helipotile in the wild. However, do we remember that exact phrasing was on the eggs for Noibat in the Halloween event?
Yeah.
And speaking from experience, it really didn't have a greater chance of being shiny out of the eggs, having taken north of 300 7km eggs to get it on my account. So don't hatch 7k eggs.
If you really
Helipotile.
want it, I hate to say this, but it is better to raid for it or try and encounter it in the wild. Do not place your faith in eggs.
Eggs, don't go for them. But field research tasks will be another way to get it. So you will be able to find Voltorb.
Hisuian Voltorb.
Wow. Plusle.
Minun.
Emolga.
And Koops.
Helicopter.
See? Hunt for the task instead. It's so much better.
It is. But speaking of things that get better, we're getting another Team Go Rocket takeover.
That's pretty quick, actually, as a turnaround, because the other one was only
just before Christmas, November, I think, yeah.
late November or early December. I think late November, actually. Yeah. So this is going to be the very beginning of February. February the 1st at 12 a.m, so midnight. It's one of these classic Team Rocket things until February the 5th, so 5 solid days, because 11:59 p.m. is when the event ends on February the 5th. And, well, again, PvP has stopped drooling, Koops.
Yeah.
It will be Shadow Registeel.
Brilliant.
For the first time.
Coincide with the 5-star raids.
Yes. Shadow Registeel should be set to absolutely annihilate in PvP, I would safely assume. But again, I'm not Mr. PvP. Don't take my word for it.
I'm not a PvPer either, but Registeel in itself was quite good in the meta. Shadow Registeel should, in theory, be better.
It should do. Plus, if you can put that Zap Cannon move on it, it will be insane. So, the special research will be available to claim until the end of Season 9, Mythical Wishes, on March the 1st at 10 a.m. local time. So, basically, get this Team Rocket research kind of in your stack, as it were, before the season is out.
Absolutely. Now, the event bonus for this one, Team Go Rocket will appear more frequently at Pokestops and in balloons, which is always good, especially if you're trying to level up the badge or get the shiny encounters. And Whitfield, your favourite bonus, you will be able to charge TM a Shadow Pokemon to forget.
Frustration. Can't wait. That's going to be so good. But this is where it's going to be a little bit more potentially interesting. So there is rumour of the Team Rocket leaders using new Shadow Shinies. So Sierra Cliff and Arlo will be using different Shadow Pokemon. What they are, we don't know yet. They never actually tell us. And I have to say, for the first time ever, I'm sad to be seeing the current line go away. I've loved Sableye, Machop, and Marwile.
I have, and I still don't have the shiny Sableye, and I've done a lot of the Sierra tasks.
That was my final shiny of 2022. It took a long time to get it, but we don't know what's going to replace them. But other things that will be added, new Shadow Pokemon include Shadow Alolan Vulpix, so again, PvP.
Yes, it is. I think Ninetales, yes.
Shadow Alolan Ninetales might have some play in PvP.
Yeah.
Shadow Spoink is going to be just annoying. Shadow Blitzel, probably the same. But, and this is the one I was looking at, Shadow Joltik. If you can get a hundo of that in Ultra League, I'm pretty sure that will mince anything.
Brilliant.
Pretty sick electric type, yeah.
But it does throw a little text line at the end saying, and more, with an exclamation mark. So I want to see what's going to be the 1k purification for this wave.
So moving into the egg game, during this event, you will be able to hatch 12k eggs and, well, they really don't look a lot different, do they?
No, it is very much just the same.
But I think if you want a rundown of what you can get, Larvitar,
Absol,
Skorupi,
Sandile,
Scraggy, those two can't be shiny,
the potentially blue Pawniard,
Vullaby, which I seem to like hatching shiny.
You'll get them all the time. Dino.
And the next three can't be shiny, Pancham,
Skrelp,
and Salandit.
If you're lucky.
And the final little bit, as if you really need it. Wait, I guess it's free components. Field research will be available that will reward a mysterious component for you. So if you can't literally, for whatever reason during a Team Rocket takeover, can't be bothered to do Team Rocket grunts, you can do field research tasks instead, although it will probably be defeat a grunt.
It probably will be. But it actually looks, those two events actually do look pretty sick.
Yeah.
I think there's a great little event.
Yeah.
And I know that we've been talking a little bit about the Lunar New Year event being kind of meh.
Dead. Yeah.
But as a short, punchy event, kind of two-parter with the Team Rocket takeover, can't go wrong with a good Team Rocket takeover. The fact these are coming thick and fast nowadays, every sort of 2.5, 3 months is really good.
And I think that the Lunar New Year event being a little bit not great, this is kind of like slowly winding up towards Hoenn Tour, so it's kind of like tick, 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 up that roller coaster, ready for an absolutely stonking back end of February.
It's one hell of a drop.
Yes.
Ready for it.
But something Coops has been told on more than one occasion is size matters. So... Have you got something to talk to us about, Coops?
I resent you for giving me this section, but yes, we have some news. There is going to be more extra small, i.e. me, and extra large, i.e. Mark, Pokemon, have been discovered in Pokemon GO. I can't believe I'm reading this. After discovering extra small and extra large Pokemon last month, we've now discovered extra small and extra large sizes of all Pokemon in Pokemon GO. So keep a sharp eye out for your favourite Pokemon. I love this. The next one you encounter may be teensy tiny or absolutely enormous.
I love when I saw it. They had like the Tyrannotars, didn't they, on the image?
Can
you make one a bit smaller? Can you make one a bit bigger? Can you leave one? You look at them.
It's like Coops micromanaging it. I want it a bit smaller.
About 70%.
I'm not going to comment.
I have an experience of this now on the game, and like I've had a giant Bunnelby, and it literally just shoves its face at you. Like, there you go. So Coops has got something that's tiny. It's a Swablu. The thing that I don't know if you've experienced it, but nowadays, if you don't quick catch and you get these tiny or extra large Pokemon, and then you bring them up into the thing, it brings up this really horrible, massive overlay that wastes your time before you can appraise it, and it brings up like 50% of your screen is this sort of Pokédex background with, and then it rolls on the height or the size of how big or small it is, and it's like, life is precious. How much of it do I want to witness?
Life is too short.
This thing telling me that this Lillipup is 12 inches tall or something. Like, I don't care.
Milo, can I just say one thing to you? You've spent 12 days of your life doing trades. We talked about this in the previous episode.
Exactly. And I've had lucky hundos from those. This is just going, this Magikarp is at least 6 kilos. Who cares?
It's awful, isn't it?
Who cares? As an update goes, and I think the replies on Twitter to when this article was posted were hysterical, and everyone's going, there's a lot to do with the game that should be implemented or fixed or whatever ahead of this in terms of priority, really. But they pushed it and worked on it, and now we've got something that basically, if you don't quick catch, slows you down even more.
But we do quick catch, so that's okay.
So everyone quick catch.
Yes, moving on. That was a mammoth news section. Well, it felt like it anyway. It probably won't be in the edit, but
it's large.
That's the largest I've seen. You know what we need? I think we need a game.
We really don't.
Play your dicks right.
I do like that jingle.
I do like the jingle. Anyway, it's play your decks right. So I'm going to pick a generation. I'm going to pick a base one. And the question is the other Pokemon high or low than the one I've just mentioned? But we are going to start in the order on my screen. And that is Ian, Coops, and Pogo Milo, UKYT. Ian, we're going to start in Kanto.
Nice.
Ian, your starting Pokemon is Wigglytuff. Is Oddish higher or lower than Wigglytuff?
My brain isn't working.
No excuses.
Lower?
Oddish is higher, Ian. Oh
no, I'm out.
You're sounding like Coops.
Coops, Oddish is your starting point. Is Zubat higher or lower than Oddish?
Oh, Zubats could be towards the start, but it's not. That's like the Pidgeys and the Caterpies. So I think Zubat's sort of middle-ish. I'm going to go with Zubat is higher than Oddish.
It is lower.
Getting it wrong, friends.
Yeah.
So Milo, we're going to keep the theme of the game going. Your starting Pokemon is Zubat.
Okay.
Is Paris higher or lower than Zubat?
Ooh. They're both quite early on in the decks, I think. I'm going to go Paris is lower.
Well, well done, Milo, because Paris is higher than Zubat. Ian, your starting Pokemon is Relicanth. Is Gorbis higher or lower than Relicanth?
I went lower earlier, and it didn't work out for me. So I'm going to go lower again.
And Ian, you're right. It is lower. Mr. Coops, we're going to start with Gorbis. I want to know, is Love Disc higher or lower than Gorbis? A fish and a fish?
Love Disc is higher.
It is higher.
Look at his smug face.
I know. So, we're going to start with Love Disc. Is Beldum higher or lower than Love Disc?
Beldum is higher than Love Disc.
You are correct. All wrong in round 1, all correct in round 2. I think something's going to give in round 3. Ian, your starting Pokemon is Panpour. Is Lillipup higher or lower than Panpour?
Higher?
Lillipup is lower, Ian.
Oh! I didn't want to do a Coops and just keep going lower for every answer.
or C for every answer. If it was Coops.
Well, exactly like the pub quiz.
Is it higher or lower?
Yeah.
C?
C. I'll take option C.
It's going to be Conkeldurr. Is Scolipede higher or lower than Conkeldurr?
I don't know what Scolipede is, but I'm going to say it's lower.
It's higher.
So Milo needs this for the win, otherwise we go into round 4.
Please.
That's Scolipede, Coops. There
It's
you go.
the final stage of Venipede.
Thank you.
If you want to know.
I don't think I've evolved it yet. It's my game. It's my game.
Whimsicott is your starting Pokemon. Milo. Is Leaveney higher or lower than Whimsicott?
Even I'm going, who's that? Is that the final
Leaveney?
evolution of Swaddle, actually, isn't it?
So Waddle doesn't evolve.
Bruh, Swaddle
Swaddle
doesn't evolve. It's a
Swaddle
3-stager.
Are you sure?
Yes.
He's got the Dex in his hand.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
He is Mr. Game.
Mr.
That you've
Game.
been knighted for this week. Sir Game. I'm going to go that Leaveney is higher.
Tonight we said we needed some content, didn't we, Ian? We were concerned about tonight,
Yes.
weren't we?
Quite weak.
Okay. It's lower. You're wrong.
I genuinely didn't know that one. Okay.
We'll go back to Kanto.
Oh no.
Ian, your starting Pokemon is Nidoking. Is Nidoqueen higher or lower than Nidoking?
It's lower.
Correct, Ian. Coops, your starting Pokemon is Nidorina. Is Ekans higher or lower than Nidorina?
I actually don't. I think that the Ekans, I think they're just before, so I'm going to go that Nidorina is higher. Have I got that wrong?
You answered it the other way round, but you're correct, my friend. Ekans is lower. Milo. Your starting Pokemon is Venomoth. I want to know, is Parasect higher or lower than Venomoth?
Higher.
It's lower. Milo valiantly takes one for the team and we've lost
Can
one.
move on. At least.
Coops, your starting Pokemon is Munna. Is Fennekin higher or lower than Munna?
Fennekin's lower.
It's higher.
Oh, it's a different gen, isn't it?
Ian, your starting Pokemon is Caterpie, Ian. Is Squirtle higher or lower than Caterpie?
Is that a serious one?
Yes.
Squirrel's lower.
You're correct, Ian. You are the winner after round 5.
I kind of feel I was handed that one just to get through the game.
Congrats. You deserve it. I feel drained.
Well
I feel
done.
mentally drained.
Well done.
Well, you know what? If you're mentally drained, Coops, what we're going to do now, we're going to listen to a few WhatsApp messages.
Send your WhatsApps now.
So this week we've got 2 WhatsApp messages that have been sent in by listeners. The first one is from one of our gold tier patrons, Darby Russ.
Good afternoon, Incensed boys. Darby Russ here. Just wanted to send in a voice note ahead of this Saturday's Community Day Classic. I was absolutely buzzing when I saw the announcement for Larvitar Community Day Classic because despite having 2 hundos, I have never got the shiny for Larvitar. I missed the Community Day when it did have one. It was in a period of the game where it wasn't playing. And after 1,444 checks and 1,431 caught, I still do not have a shiny Larvitar. So I'm praying I get one on Saturday. If I don't, I'm rage quitting the game. But it led me to think of a question for you all as to which Pokemon and its shiny has eluded you the longest. Is there one that plagues you all? This may not be relevant for Milo, but just thought I'd ask the question ahead of this Saturday's Community Day.
Take care, gents. Bye-bye.
Oh, amazing. I love our listeners. They actually know us so well.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for sending that in.
I love that. Nice to hear your voice as well, bro. Love that. So obviously, because Milo's not going to answer this one, I'll go first.
Aww.
So my one, the shiny Pokemon that's eluded me the most is going to be Clink, because obviously a bit like Timber, a bit like all these sort of 1-star raid Pokemon that come out as shiny as soon as they get released, and they're only in the raids for like the first few months.
Nice.
I really wanted a shiny Clink, and I've just checked my Pokédex. I've got over 100 Clink, and obviously some of those will be from trades, but in general I'd probably say I've done over about sort of 50 Clink raids, and I should kind of really already have the shiny by now. It was kind of like my thingy of the shiny Absol, but I got one when it was in the game. So yeah, I would say my one is the shiny. Still need to get it for Clink.
I actually still need Clink as well, but I wouldn't. Yeah, basically if it's a 1-star raid shiny, I just don't tend to get them, so I still haven't got a shiny Timber. The one that's eluded me the most, now this shiny's been out for a long time, shiny Venonat. I've checked so many of them. It's been in so many events, and I just cannot get one to shine. It's been like 2-3 years now, and just not happening for me.
My one, it was shiny on release, and it was released in March last year. These Pokemon released as part of the Welcome to Alola, that awful event. I mean, that amazing event that we spoke about. Shiny Young Goose. And I know Del Hazard, one of our patron members, one of our listeners, he's in the same boat as well. I've checked over 1,482 Young Goose. Jesus. Since it's been out.
Wow.
And it hasn't shined for me.
Mate, that's actually mad. 1,500.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Come on then, Whitfield.
So, the current one. I saw you guys know firsthand, all right, you've seen this live last year, and Kerry Young in the Patreon chat has said so, Dunsparce. I couldn't even get that on Johto Tour, and it's like super hyper boost, and it's quite a common spawn with the partly cloudy weather, and it's been in research tasks for ages, and I think it was actually released at the very beginning of 2021, and I still don't have one. I don't know how many since the shiny's been out, but in the Pokédex it's showing about 1,350 checks, but I saw Sue talking about 3k checks for shiny Nosepass. The one that blighted me for actually the longest period of time was Houndour. That was near 4,000 checks to get that shiny, and near enough 3 years.
Damn.
We all have that RNG that blights us.
Some more than others, but yes. I did have to slightly abridge this message because it was 6 minutes long, so I've had to cut it down a little bit.
Hey, Incensed podcast. This is Katie Spikes from South India. I'm so glad I could finally find the time to send a message. You guys are really amazing. You guys have like found a very unique niche in terms of game podcasts, and because you all four of you bring different perspectives to this toxic game that we're all addicted to. My first introduction to you guys was through Coop's channel. I used to write comments every day, and he used to respond, and through the podcast I got to follow his journey and how he came out with being a fellow guy who was broken up with also. I survived a very toxic breakup that happened 5 years ago. Hearing Coops manage his personal life, how he's doing on the podcast really inspired me, and it also helped me get over my breakup. But you guys are really, all of you are individually and as a collective, you are wonderful podcasters. Been going through a lot of tough time in my personal life. As I said, I'm survived. This breakup has it left me with a lot of emotional scars and depression, and you guys have certainly helped me get through this time. And even though sometimes I don't feel like playing the game, I just put on during a calm day or something, I put on one of your episodes and play the game, because that helps me, consume Pokemon Go. My question to I had a question about the game, if you guys don't mind answering. Also, if there's ever a Safari Zone in India for, let's say, Holi or Diwali, would you guys consider visiting?
100%.
And
100%.
Yeah.
Also, the question was about Niantic. Do you guys remember when the first lockdown happened? After the first lockdown was announced, and Niantic immediately decided that the Incense was going to be more effective, and you could play from home. And they gave all of us like 30 instances for free. That was kind of like a very boss move because it paved the way of like I have never seen a game take something so seriously and make it more accessible to its players by being so magnanimous. It also, during the George Floyd protests, Niantic donated like $5 million. After that, have you guys seen Niantic be so generous to his players without thinking about the bottom line? Do you see Niantic doing stuff like this in the future? I just want to hear your thoughts on that. So that's my question. Thank you guys for all the work you do. Keep up the great work.
Oh,
thanks for sending that in.
Yeah, thanks for the message.
I just want to say one thing, right? You are the truly rural trainer. You're more rural than me because if was I hearing like cockerels going off in the background? It sounded so beautiful, didn't it? It sounded like right in the country, didn't it? You know, I was
really
like, it sounded amazing. Painted a lovely picture.
I will just speak on behalf of all four of us, genuinely. If there is ever a Go Fest or a Safari Zone, not that I know what any of those are, if there is one in India, 100%. I've been to India before. I filmed a little part of a film in Mumbai and Bombay. I literally loved it. Amazing. So yeah, I'll definitely come back if there's a Safari Zone.
Are you in Bollywood, Coops?
I am, mate. Yeah, I'm dancing in a film called Race 3. So if we do have any other listeners from India, yeah. But anyway, no, right. So thank you for the message. And to answer the question, I've had a really rough time with Niantic support over the last week. So I'm going to speak.
Lost raid passes.
How did you know?
Because we've all lost one or two, yeah.
It's the only reason. It's the only reason.
So I'm going to say no. I think they've got more stingy from experience, from errors that they've done to getting, like the makeup days and things that happen in New Zealand and they don't turn the shiny on and all this. I feel like nothing really sort of seems to happen. Like in my opinion, nothing. They just sort of do a little tweet and be like, yeah, we'll do this. We'll give you 2 hyper potions.
So I kind of agree. Like the thing that he's talking about is obviously the incense and all of that, and we talked about that when we were maybe a little bit more overzealous, certainly on my part, but that was in reaction to a global pandemic. I don't think anything else that major will have to happen. The next uproar would be, or if they took away remote raiding,
not going to happen.
But they've said they won't do it. If anything, they'll make it slightly less effective, and that might cause an uproar with some people. We'll have to see. So Coops, have you failed to get raid passes back?
Yeah, I sent maybe 6 or 7 screenshots and videos, and I wrote a huge paragraph basically describing each video that I'd sent.
Did you not have raid logging activated on your phone? Because then they can check your records.
Well, this is the thing. I sent them everything, and then they replied, "Hey trainer, what was you doing?" And I wrote a massive essay, literally
video message them.
Voice noted them.
Yeah, no, and genuinely, I've lost about 6 or 7 raid passes through Reshiram and Zekrom, and it's probably about over 200 raids. And they were like, "We've put 1 remote raid pass," and I said, "I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't."
The problem is, I will say you've done it in a batch. I assume.
You need to do them individually.
This is the problem: is that the way that they do things on support, and this is sort of going off track, as it were, but they can only do kind of 1 item per time. And I know some people have had the message where it says, "We've already deposited too many items into your account." There's a way and a certain amount of buttons, like certain wording that you click, like the purchasable item, issue with an item purchased, and then to do with raid passes. Don't go into raid issues, because you can find yourself in a problem where they go, "Oh, it's a raiding issue, so therefore we can't help you." If you make sure that it's a paid item issue, but do it for every item. For example, if you have quite a lot of errors, like you may have done with Reshiram and Zekrom, but then you've got Regice coming out and you're not going to be raiding, maybe try and either have the raid logging on for sure, but you could space them out in a way so it doesn't bombard their thing. So they go, "Oh, look, you messaged yesterday with an error. We're not going to give you an item back." Because I had an issue where I got the most ridiculous error I've ever seen. It usually gives you error 49. I had an error message that was about 40 characters long, and literally it was like someone had just hit the keyboard like a guitar and just gone,
promo game code.
It was even longer than that. You couldn't even enter an Android. it was literally just 69 characters all out there, and then the game crashed, reloaded it, and it actually, every time I tried to upload my raid log, it broke the game. So something mega went wrong, but all I could do was send them a screenshot of me. I think I was in a raid with Ian, wasn't I?
You was, yeah. There's 5 of us in, and then you glitched.
And I crashed out.
Yeah.
I just sent the screenshot of pass has been taken, but then it's saying no group code found and it won't let me in. And I did get my pass back. There's a way to word it, which a lot of people just go, it was a raid issue. It's actually a item problem.
Damn, here's me thinking doing it in a batch would be like sort of a bit more professional, I guess, and backfired. Fair enough. Like I said, I didn't want all 6 raid passes back, but I thought they'd be like, oh look, here's a batch of 3 to say sorry. But when they said 1, I thought, oh hell no. So then I replied saying, I'm not happy with this.
Yeah.
I kind of went off tangent there. So yeah, going back to the question, what they did with the pandemic bonuses was phenomenal. The fact that Niantic do give money to charity, I mean, I could see them doing that again in the future, because I might not have this right, because I don't know a lot about the American tax system, but isn't it a tax write-off if you donate to charity? Yeah, Sue said it is a tax write-off, yeah.
3 words every business loves. Yeah.
Yes.
Tax write-off. I haven't had any raid errors for quite a long time, but I don't raid heavily. But one thing I do remember where I got really, really badly stitched up on, and again, it comes back to what we said, it actually impacted most of the world, was when Shiny Deoxys was released. And I think it was, I can't remember if it was when they all came out the last time on launch almost, and I was raiding hard because I needed speed form Deoxys. And when it transpired that they hadn't released a shiny on it, we would be raiding as they were.
Oh. They've done that so many times.
And I must have done like 20, 21, 22, and I hadn't got the shiny, saw that, and it said, don't worry, trainers, we've heard. We will make sure those impacted by it are sort of like
reimbursed.
And I got 3 remote raid passes. I was like, okay, so I've got 3 goes at getting it. And ironically, I've got a shiny in one of those 3, which was bizarre in itself. But it's like 21, 22. Some people would have done a lot more than that. Come on. You can't do that, can you, as a game? You're spending money to do something which isn't as advertised.
But this is the problem, though, even though it was like pandemic and that, but I genuinely, from things that have happened since then, they will never, ever, ever, even if something like that does happen again, they will never, ever, ever be that kind. But speaking of the word kind, someone has actually been incredibly kind to join me as a guest for this next section.
Yeah, they have, Coops, because normally it would be Milo and I that do the Counter Brothers, but this week we've got some stiff competition.
Very stiff in the case of Coops.
I've been ditched as well.
You have,
My
mate.
cousin's ditched me for his boyfriend.
Who's playing that trumpet?
Hello, sweetheart.
I don't know. Hello, mate.
Daxi, how are you?
Good. What's up? Hope everybody's doing well
today.
You have
no idea what's going on right now, do you?
I just heard a trumpet. And I was scared, and then now we're here.
It was a calling card. You've been summoned.
Pretty much. That's. I come running to that noise.
Coops likes a nice horn.
It does.
But as promised to all the listeners on episode 100, Marky, I'm sorry, you've been dropped from the Counter Cousins and are now going to be going back and forth with Poké Daxi. It feels good. So, ladies and gents, you are going to be having soon enough in the next few days in Pokemon Go. To be fair, I was going to say no one cares. It's actually coming as a shiny. It's going to be Tapu Koko. A round of applause, please, for Tapu Koko.
Even if I was a shiny, I still think no one cares.
So, me and my lovely boy here, we're going to be... Sorry, that sounded weird. Me and my lovely partner in crime here.
I'm your lovely boy. Wow, what an honor.
That's Lady Coops.
Yeah.
So flattering.
Daxi, they're not going to cut that. So we're going to talk to you about counters. So first up, if you are going to raid this, you might be the only person on planet Earth to do so. Please make sure Mega-wise you're either using Mega Gengar with Lick and Sludge Bomb, you're using Mega Beedrill with Poison Jab and Sludge Bomb, or if you want to, you can choose Mega Swampert with Mud Shot and Earthquake. But like I said, Mega Gengar, as always, it's got the best DPS, and that's going to be the best one.
You like a Hydro Cannon.
I do. So Daxi, what type of Shadow Pokemon should people use?
For Shadows, you obviously have the new King, Shadow Mamoswine, recently buffed as well. It's going to do amazing. You probably have a lot of those. But if for some reason you don't have that, you can go with his worst counterpart, Shadow Golurk. I doubt anyone in the world has a Shadow Golurk. But for some reason, if you have Shadow Golurk, it's the second best Shadow. So go ahead.
And Daxi, what moves? What moves? Tell us what moves in case there's casuals
Oh,
like
moves,
me.
of course, it moves. Hey, you just got to know the moves, guys. You got to know the moves. No, I'm kidding. Shadow Mamoswine, you're going to want to run Mud Slap and High Horsepower. And then for Shadow Golurk, you're going to want Mud Slap and Earth Power. And then if for some reason you have a Shadow Mewtwo, which was actually recently out, so you probably do have one, Shadow Mewtwo is super strong. So it's actually literally the number 3 counter, even though it doesn't do super effective damage. Go ahead, use it, because the ground types are not strong enough, so Shadow Mewtwo's taking over. Back to you, Coops, for the regular counters.
And I wanted to shout out...
Power it up, power it up.
Why is it not level 50? Come on.
Yeah, Marky, power that Shadow Golurk up. The actual best counter that you want to use for this, and shout out to Poké Battler, even though the Primal's not out yet, they're getting ready. Primal Groudon with Mudshot and Earthquake is going to be the number 1 against Tapu. What is it again? Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko. And funnily enough, Nihilego. Yeah, with Poison Jab and Sludge Bomb as well. Another really strong one, and I do love this one to type attacker. It's going to be Excadrill with Mud
Throw some dirt at Tapu Koko, man.
Right. With Mud Slap and Drill One. Daxi, back to you. Is there anyone you want? Do you want to go down the list? Maybe if there's some casuals out there, is there any that sort of wild cards that you might want to use?
For sure. First, I'll jump back because I forgot to say for Shadow Mewtwo, make sure you have Confusion and then also Legacy Psy Strike, because I completely avoided the moveset. But some other cheaper counters you might have would be things like Rhyperior, which had a community day like a year ago. Mud Slap, Earthquake's going to work well. Garchomp as well had a community day not long ago. You should have Garchomp. We also have Gengar in there, regular form with Lick and Sludge Bomb. Again, you don't really need Lick because Shadow Claw does just as well, and Lick is a legacy move. You can skip that. And then also Roserade is another pretty accessible one that had a community day. Poison Jab, Sludge Bomb will do well.
And just to end this off, for all you Go Battle League lovers, you can use Shadow Victory Bell apparently as well with Acid and Sludge Bomb. So that's going to be my favourite
in the Great League.
That's going to be my favourite from the list. And Dax, do you want to pick your favourite from the list? Make it as random as you possibly can.
I'm a huge fan of Mamoswine right now with Mud Slap, High Horsepower. I think it's finally getting the love it deserves as a ground type raid attacker, because before with Bulldoze it was absolute trash.
And of course, please do remember as well that I was going to say Koko Tapu.
Kecleon.
Please. Kecleon. And please also remember that Tapu Koko is going to be, what do we say, Marky? A Thunderbolt and a Charmy type. But yeah, no, it's going to be an electric type slash
Twinkling Fantasy.
Slash fairy type. And yeah, have fun raiding it. Hopefully February brings some exciting raid bosses. And subscribe to Poké Daxi on YouTube if you haven't already.
Because he does this usually quicker, alone, and better.
Yes.
You know what? They're different. I'm going to say better.
Dax, can you do me a massive favour? I know that was like the most random 5 minutes of your life, bro, but genuinely, in the next few months, can you come back on for another hour and a half? Will you do that for us, yeah?
An hour and a half?
That's
like a whole
show.
I can
Yeah,
hop
like
back.
a full show.
No, I thought you were like, can we do a counter?
We're not doing counters for
an hour and a half.
He's like, no.
No,
I'm not doing an hour and a half counter guide.
No, I'd happily hop on. I was actually thinking, I was like, right now I'm thinking of rerunning a lot of things, like this podcast. There's also a bunch of PvP battles I want to rerun. So yeah, I'd be down.
Genuinely, mate, just to reiterate, I know this has been the most random 5 minutes of your life, but I appreciate you coming on, brother. Thank you so much.
Yes, we appreciate you.
I'll try. I'm actually going to try to come down to London this summer. I don't know if Coops told you. I was talking to Coops about it.
No, he doesn't share
that.
He did say that you was coming if you lost.
Share you with us.
He did say you was coming.
Me and Coops did video, and then if it gets 500 likes is what Coops said.
5K,
and it got 500 likes.
5K,
yeah, a while ago. So I was like, come down, and I thought it'd be fun if all the 4 boys gets in on it, or we could even split up into teams. I don't know if you guys saw the video.
We did, yeah. We
watched
saw
the
it,
challenge.
Yeah, I did. I'm 100% down,
like
dude.
if my mom comes, and then that would make us 6, and then we could split up into 3 teams of 2.
Definitely.
That was an idea I had coming down to London, and potentially.
I think we'd all be down for that. Yeah, let's do it.
I'll be so down.
Okay, boys, it's been lovely, but I'll leave you with Mark's poll.
Is that Mark's poll?
So yeah, I put a poll out as we're recording, not something we spoke about earlier in the show. We've discussed a bit about the current event, and it can be a depressing time of the year as well, January. The question was, so, with the current state of the game, are you taking a break from Pokemon Go right now? Normally I'll say please vote, retweet, but I wanted some comments as well. I love that our listeners listen to what I put on these polls. We had 57 people on board, and
Smashing
3
effort.
of you retweeted it. 57 of you voted, but 3 of you retweeted it. Come on, you can retweet.
Well done, guys.
Before I reveal the result on it, here are some of the comments. So Stewie16H said, never really taking a break from playing, just not raging. Only thing saving them this week is the Comday Classic. Mike Lucas, friend of the podcast as well, says, nah, still need another shiny Slugma, in brackets balls, in brackets couldn't resist. Keith, Evasion1982, I'm free to play anyway, so I'll play no matter what. And I like what Spindiana said. There's a few other comments. Spindiana says, I have my retirement date in mind, and we're not there yet. I plan to pull back from the game once all the megas have been released, so they might hold off the camera up for you just to spite you there.
Just wait.
Apart from great, when you said what do you mean by the current state of the game, hopefully that explained it a little bit. So 32% of people said, yeah, they are currently taking a break from the game, which means that the other 2/3, 68%, are not. That's quite a lot, actually. 1 in 3 take a bit of a break from the game at the moment.
I think they've looked at this current event and gone, yeah.
I think it's just the event, isn't it? Because I think the game's in a good place, but it's just this event. But do you know what's always in a good state?
No.
Shinies of the week.
Shinies of the week?
We actually got one to our WhatsApp, another way to utilise it, and it's my husband, it's Lachlan. From the Way Spotters podcast. Can I just say, first of all, Lachlan, if you're going to take a screenshot of a Shundo Legendary, wait for the bloody stars to tick over to a 3 red, not 2 and yellow. That's just amateur. But he did get a Shundo Zekrom, which I'm not jealous about at all.
I'm not. I've got a 98. That's almost as good.
Quite interestingly, it was actually an invite from pen pal Simon that got him the Shundo.
Oh.
So that's worthwhile. Yeah, GG's.
Speaking of Shundos, mate, I thought he was going to read this one out, but we've got one here on Twitter from Brian V675 at Incensed Podcast at Pogo Milo UK. My first Shundo after 95,000 catches from a remote raid. I love your podcast, guys. Your podcast is an absolute must on a Sunday afternoon while playing #Shinies of the week. And he also got a Shundo Zekrom himself. So yeah, GG's to both of those Shundos. Madness.
GG's.
Not jealous.
GG's. I'll jump in next. Gabriella B1982. To think I almost deleted the task. Laughing emoji. #Shinies of the week. Shiny Spinder.
Oh.
We all love a shiny Spinder.
Nice.
GG's.
Pokemon Wingman.
Very, very nice. Another one on Twitter. Right, this is a plea from me, right? Shinies of the week. Insta is neglected.
Do you know why it's neglected? Because we never read them out from Insta.
Next week we will.
Yeah, well, maybe not next week because I won't be here, but maybe the week after.
Spoilers.
In the future, maybe Mark won't be here. But anyway, Apex171 just completed the Shiny family, waiting on King Gambit to drop it. Or to drop, I should say. #Shinies of the week. Not 1, not 2, but 3 shiny Pawniards.
Whoa.
Very
3?
nice.
Apex. GG's, man.
G and G.
Come on, where's Gen 9
Wowzers.
already?
Milo, that's it. He could trade one to each of us at Vegas.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, thanks for those shinies of the
Nice.
week. Continue to send them in to us on Twitter, TikTok, if you really must, Instagram, Campfire, WhatsApp, or by email. Send them to us any way you want, because we will read some of them out. Stories. Also send us your stories, because we've not had a letters to the host for a while, and we like them. Or you could send them by a WhatsApp. You know, we could play your story out, read by you. And please ensure you hit that follow or plus button if you haven't done already. That way, new episodes will download straight to your phone. And don't forget the 5-star review. Coots will sleep well at night knowing that you've hit the 5 stars on Spotify or even on Apple. Now, just before we jump out, we'd just like to take a moment to thank all of our patrons across the bronze and silver tiers. Thank you so much. We do appreciate each and every one of you. And those of you that are on our gold tier, a lot of you are in the live chat as we speak. A big, big thank you. We say it every week, but the show wouldn't be the same, wouldn't sound the same without your support. So, Hermes Ninja, JB, Clifford Mert, Darby Ross, Kerry and Zachary, Connolly, Dom the Ragnarok, ML Folk 2020, 22, Apex 187, Professor 58, and K Technogal. Thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. And if you want to jump on board the Patreon, then you can do so with tiers starting at £1.50. Now, I'd just like to say a quick hello to Jude Barker, our latest patron that joined on the bronze tier today.
Whee.
So thank you for jumping on board.
Nice.
Ian, can I just say something?
You can.
Hey, Jude. How did you not think of that, bro?
I kind of did. I just don't sing.
We wanted you to do it.
Guys, good news.
What?
Spotlight our reminder. Dynamo that can't be shiny.
Ooh, new feature.
On Tuesday the 24th. And 2 times catch candy. How good's that, eh?
And on that bombshell, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week with something that might be a little bit special.
More Dynamo XL.